welcome to the program. Hello and welcome to the program. Myself, Professor J.K. Shah. I have been working as an assistant professor at Silver Oak College of Engineering and Technology in Mechanical Engineering Department. Today's program, I will talk about the moment of inertia. In this lesson, you will learn about the basic concepts and the definition of moment of inertia. In addition to that, there are two important theorems to be discussed: perpendicular axis theorem and parallel axis theorem. I will also talk about the problems based on these theorems. Then the important definition, the radius of gyration, and at last the multiple choice question on the same. Let us start with the basic definition of the moment of inertia. It is defined as the second moment of the area, and it is denoted by the letter capital I. Now you might be knowing, just like moment of the force, which is equal to the force into the distance. Accordingly, moment of area is area into the distance. As per the basic definition of the moment of inertia, it is the second moment of the area. That means it is moment of the area. So we get the equation area into distance square. This is a very important and general equation of the moment of inertia. I equal to area into distance square. Now theoretically we can use this formula to determine the value of moment of inertia. But what does it represent physically? So practically it represents the resistance to the bending. If you take the example of the beam, it may have the different cross section. For example, channel section, I section, T section, like that. So if the moment of inertia of the cross section of the beam is more, then it will offer the more resistance to the bending. So that's why it's a very important parameter in the structure design. Again, the important thing is regarding the unit. As from the general equation, the area moment of inertia, which is equal to area into square of the distance. So if all the dimensions are given in mm, then the unit of moment of inertia would be mm raised to 4. Accordingly, if the dimensions are given in meter or centimeter, then unit would be meter raised to 4 or centimeter raised to 4. Now before we proceed for the important theorem, let us go through the basic definition. The first one is the axis of reference. The axis of reference means moment of inertia is always found with reference to some assumed axis. That assumed axis is called the axis of reference. As it is mentioned in the slide, you can go through it. Mi, now onwards I will refer moment of inertia as Mi of any area is always measured with reference to some axis, which is called axis of reference. Next one, that is the centroidal axis. The word centroid is that means it is an axis passing through the centroid of the given area. And the third one, this is the axis of symmetry. Basically, this is an axis which divides the given lamina or the area into the two identical parts. As you can easily observe from the figure that the red vertical dotted line, that is the axis of symmetry, which divides this given lamina into the two identical parts. Now we will focus on this important theorem, parallel axis theorem. Let us first of all go through the statement of this theorem. If you know the moment of inertia of any area or the lamina about its centroidal axis, then you can always find the moment of inertia of that area or lamina about any parallel axis which is parallel to the centroidal axis and located at some distance d. Here I have just written the general form of the parallel axis theorem, where as you can see in the figure, the given lamina having the centroid C and the BB dash, this is the axis passing through the centroid of this lamina. So we will refer the axis BB dash as the centroidal axis, and as you can see in the figure, AA dash, which is any axis parallel to the centroidal axis BB dash, and it is located at a distance d. So coming back to this general form of the theorem, IAA dash equal to IBB dash plus A into D square. Here let us go through the notations. Capital A is the area of the lamina. As you can see here, capital A is the total area of the lamina. Then D is the distance between the axis AA dash and BB dash. I just told you that BB dash, that is an axis passing through the centroid of the given lamina. So BB dash is a centroidal axis, and IBB dash is MI of that area about the axis. Now we want to find out the moment of inertia of this area about the axis BB dash and AA dash. So first of all, let us consider the small element dA as shown in the figure. Now this element dA is located at a distance y dash from the axis BB dash, which is the centroidal axis. The same time, if you can see, the element dA is also located at a distance y from the parallel axis AA dash. So first of all, we will find out the moment of inertia of the element about the centroidal axis and the axis AA dash, which is the parallel axis to the centroidal axis. See, this is the proof of the theorem. Consider the moment of inertia of an area A with respect to the axis AA dash. Now you have to just remember the general form of the moment of inertia, that is always equal to area into square of the distance. So here IAA dash, which is the MI of the area about the axis AA dash. So y square dA, that is the area into the square of the distance, because the distance between the element dA and the axis AA dash is y. So y square dA is the MI of the element dA about the axis AA dash. Now we require the moment of inertia of the entire area, that's why I have shown the integral sign here. So IAA dash is integration y square dA, which is the moment of inertia of the whole area about the AA axis. Now you can observe that y is equal to y dash plus d. So we will just substitute the values of y as y plus d into the equation. See here, IAA dash is integration y square dA is equal to integration y dash plus d whole square dA. And when you expand this, the second line of the equation, IAA dash is equal to integration y dash square dA plus 2d integration y dash dA plus d square integration dA. Now in the second line of the equation there are three terms, so we will substitute the values of these three terms. Now from this figure again we can easily mention that the moment of inertia of the element dA about the centroidal axis, which is bb dash, is given by the formula y dash square dA. Again I have just used the basic formula of the mi, which is area into square of the distance. Here dA is the area of the element and y dash is the distance of that element from the centroidal axis. So in general IBB dash is integration y dash square dA. So in the first term of the second line of the equation, that is integration y dash square dA, we can substitute the values IBB dash. Now look at the last term of this equation, that is d square integration dA. Now integration dA, that implies the total area of the lamina. So let us say capital A is the total area of the lamina. So IAA dash would be equal to IBB dash plus the second term plus AD square. Now still the question is why the second term and what to do with that term. So if you look at observe the second term carefully, it is 2D integration y dash dA, which is equal to 2AD y bar, and over here the y bar, which is the y coordinate of the centroid, and the y coordinate of the centroid on the centroidal axis itself must be equal to 0. So the second term would nullify here, and at last we get the relation IAA dash equal to IBB dash plus AD square. So again let us go through the terminology again. In this equation the capital A is the area of the lamina, then IBB dash, this is the mi of the given area or the lamina about the centroidal axis, and IAA dash is the mi of that area about the axis parallel to the centroidal axis. And remember, d is the distance between the centroidal axis and the axis parallel to the centroidal axis. Now this is a very important theorem, and we will use this theorem to find out the moment of inertia of the different lamina. Now before we proceed for the problems based on this, let us first of all find out the moment of inertia of the standard shapes such as rectangle, triangle, semicircle, quarter circle. So one by one we will find out the mi of the standard shapes. We will start with the rectangular section first of all. The task is to find mi of the rectangular area about its base. Now as you can see in the figure, the rectangular cross section is given. The b is the width of the rectangle and h is the height of the rectangle, and we want to find out the mi of this rectangle on its base. Now the base of the rectangle is along the x-axis, as you can see in the figure. So in order to find this, first of all we will consider the elemental strip located at a distance y. Let us say dy is the thickness of this elemental strip. So area of this elemental strip, which is indicated with the red line in the figure, dA is equal to b into dy. Now from the first principle of the moment of inertia, that is area into square of the distance, give us the value of mi. So for this particular elemental strip, the moment of inertia would be area into square of the distance. So that is y square dA. Now the thing is that we want to find the mi of the rectangular section, whole rectangular section on its base. So we need to integrate this thing from 0 to h. So as you can read in the second steps of the derivation, I have put the limits of integration from 0 to h y square and substituted the value of dA, that is b dy, and on the simplification we obtain the value of moment of inertia of the rectangular section on its base bh cube by 3. Accordingly, we can also find out the mi of the rectangular section on its centroidal axis. This can also be found by using the perpendicular and parallel axis theorem. Now we will move on to the next task, which is to find out the moment of inertia of the triangular section on its base. As you can see in the figure, there is a triangular cross section. All the respected parameters are shown in the figure. The small b is the base of the triangle, the h is the altitude, the height of the triangle, and we want to find the mi of this triangle on its base. So just like we did